Again, thank you for joining me today as we walk through these two great programs. We will discuss why it's so important in today's environment to support detoxification and how it really impacts so many symptoms that we feel. Symptoms like fatigue, acne, low libido, joint pain, GI pain, food cravings, brain fog, depression, and difficulty sleeping. We will explore the detox program and purification program that I use in my clinic and walk through a couple case studies to show its effectiveness. Detoxification is intimately linked with overall good gut health. Detoxification, in my opinion, is like the keystone of health. Everything falls apart if we don't have proper detoxification and GI health. Even in Chinese medicine, they view the digestive system and detox system at the center of health. We are finding out that is true. The liver is the biggest player in detoxification and digestion. The liver is responsible for so many functions. Just for example, let's look at a couple of these. The liver, it converts over 70% of inactive thyroid hormone, which is T4, into its active form T3. It metabolizes most estrogen and cortisol in the body. It regulates our blood sugar. It produces bile for fat digestion and toxin elimination. It produces over 75% of total cholesterol, which is needed for vitamin D, estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone synthesis. It stores extra vitamins and minerals in cases of fasting. It produces various proteins to transport hormones throughout the body and to help keep proper fluid balance in the cardiovascular system. It metabolizes fats, proteins, and carbohydrates for energy regulation. As you can see, the liver is incredibly important. If you have hormone imbalances, gut symptoms, low libido, and blood sugar handling problems, then you probably have something going astray in the liver. This workshop will help you understand detoxification, but more importantly, why it's important to support liver and GI function. Also, you should have received the system survey and toxicity questionnaire via email when you registered. Print these off and make sure you have them filled out. It will give you a nice snapshot of what your body is trying to tell you via the symptom survey and what your toxin exposure is in your current environment. If you didn't receive those, I'll shoot the link over here on the side of the screen, and you can click on that and just download that off of the webinar as well. But some of our objectives we're going to run through here, and we're going to go through my personal story with the 21-day purification, 28 detox program, the importance of proper diet and detoxification, a detailed look at each program, and we'll look at a few case studies showing the effectiveness of both programs. So here's a little bit about me. Again, my name is Dr. Taylor. I'm the clinical director at the Tennessee Center of Integrative Medicine. I serve my community in functional medicine, nutrition, chiropractic, acupuncture, and as a clinical mentor. I've had the pleasure of learning from some of the best doctors across North America, and now devote my career to share the most effective system to health I have found with patients in my community. So I want to touch a little bit on my story and just why I enjoy doing this. And just why I'm passionate about detoxification and really true holistic healthcare. As you can see, I was struggling with a multitude of symptoms. I ignored these symptoms for about 2 years. Then I finally hit a breaking point and started listening to my body and really dived deep into what was going on with me. We can ignore the warning signs that our bodies are trying to tell us, or we can listen and change. That desire and will to change has to come within us. There's no pill or supplement that will change this. Here were my symptoms that my body was screaming at me to change. I was dealing with fatigue, and it was only getting worse over the course of about 12 months. I had what I like to call the blue funk. I wasn't really depressed, but just kind of lulling through life and just really a lack of motivation. A big one is I was having a lot of body odor with exercise. I was having chronic stress with our expanding clinic here. I was having a lot of GI symptoms, so I was having really bad smelly gas and multiple bowel movements per day, and those bowel movements weren't solid. I was getting acne that was only worsening over the past year. And I was developing these weird pains, just these dull pains throughout my entire body. I started to have pains in my right finger, my right wrist, right low back, right knee, and right ankle, and even my middle back. And it really just seemed my health was slipping away with no real rhyme or reason. The two areas that detoxification really helped me with all this was my skin and fatigue. So this was really my breaking point. Sadly, it was what we see that makes us change the most. In my experience, people want to lose weight, get rid of acne, decrease facial wrinkles, or have good-looking teeth. Really, I was no different. I was coping with the fatigue, the blue funk, but looking in the mirror every morning and seeing the problem on my face was getting to me. I'm sure many of you experience the same thing. Maybe you look in the mirror and have a hard time recognizing the person you see. The motivation, extra weight, or just joy for life isn't what it used to be. The other major symptom for me was the bowel movements. I would have multiple bowel movements a day, and most of them weren't formed or normal. After going through the 28-day detox, that completely normalized. The question is, are we going to treat the symptoms with drugs or supplements or go after the root cause issue, making changes to our lifestyle that is contributing to these symptoms? As you can see in the pictures, my acne was almost gone in 4 weeks. Now, over the course of a year, I tried a multitude of acne creams and scrubs, but acne was the symptom and not the cause. Going through the 28-day detox, I realized I'm extremely sensitive to caffeine, and I had to cut way back. I found also I had a gluten and dairy sensitivity. By supporting gut health and detoxification and eliminating these foods causing inflammation in my system, my acne vanished. I also went through the 21-day purification later in the year and lost 10 pounds in the first 7 days. Now, to say these programs are effective is an understatement. They're really life transforming. The question is, are we going to treat the symptoms with drugs or supplements or go after the root cause issue, making changes to our lifestyle that is contributing to these symptoms? Here's the other before and after picture during the 4-week period of detoxification. So this is the SAD diet, the standard American diet. The biggest problem with this graph is that we don't eat enough vegetables and fruits. Then we eat way too much added sugar, saturated fats, and sodium. The middle sections could be tweaked, but those aren't the big outliers. Our bodies need vegetables and fruits for natural sources of vitamins, phytonutrients, and minerals. The phytonutrients in these plants influence genetic expression in our bodies that literally turn on or off bad genes that can trigger chronic disease. This leads to weight gain, fatigue, mental fog, digestive distress, poor sleep, and low libido. We need balance, and that is what our 21-day purification and 28-day detox is all about. As you can see, there are toxins everywhere. There are 80,000 chemicals registered for use in the US. The scary thing is that there are no safety studies required to show that these chemicals will not harm humans. Many times people will get injured by chemicals, and it is in the court when they discover there is harm done by these chemicals. There was a study done in the Journal of Respiratory and Clinical Care Medicine showed that using daily household cleaners every day is equivalent to smoking 20 cigarettes per day. That is detrimental to everyone living in the house. These chemicals are everywhere. They are in the air and the water, on the food we eat, and preservatives and additives, household cleaning products, cigarettes, dyes, paints, personal care products. These are all called exogenous toxins, or toxins that we are exposed to outside of our body. Now, there are endogenous toxins, or toxins within our body. This can be carbon dioxide, ammonia, free radicals that cells produce, or estrogen that isn't broken down by the liver. All of these can contribute to our overall toxic load and create health problems. If we can't detoxify well or simply have too many toxins in our body, we can get a multitude of symptoms. We can get food cravings, weight gain, reduced mental clarity, or I call it for myself that blue funk, joint discomfort, joint pain, fatigue, difficulty sleeping, GI distress, IBS, skin issues like acne or eczema, and low libido. Skin issues, mental clarity, indigestion, fatigue, joint discomfort, and weight gain, all were signs and symptoms my body was telling me to change. Eventually, this spills over to our confidence and well-being. This can lead to a social withdrawal, and that isn't healthy. I've heard patients say they look in the mirror in the mornings and don't even recognize the person in the mirror anymore. One of the biggest components to detoxification is hydration. Lymph fluid is like the sewer system of the body. We use about 2 liters of lymph fluid every day. This fluid is what takes waste products into the bloodstream or to the skin to sweat out. Lymph in the blood eventually makes it to the liver. Lymph is moved in the body by muscle contractions, especially from the legs. The takeaway is that we must be hydrated and we must move for detoxification to be optimal in the body. Once the lymph gets to the bloodstream, it will end up in the liver or we will sweat it out. So there are 3 basic phases to detoxification that takes place in the body to rid our body of toxins. First, we unlock stored fat-soluble toxins. When we do this, these toxins can be more dangerous than the stored form within the fat cells. They then get transformed into a more water-soluble molecule and are not toxic. These toxins are then eliminated through the urine or feces. A healthy functioning GI system is crucial for detoxification. To recap, we need to be hydrated, move our bodies, and have optimal liver and GI function to detoxify properly. This is a great questionnaire to determine your toxin exposure on a daily basis. You should have received one of these via email. You should have also received the system survey to give a snapshot of what your body is trying to tell you. Fill this out to see if a detox will be right for you. Now that we discussed the importance of a healthy, balanced diet and detoxification, let's take a look at the 2 programs. The 21-day Purification is a 21-day program that is geared more towards weight loss and a kickstart to healthy eating habits. When I did this program, I lost 10 pounds in the first 7 days. This program is great for those that are wanting to lose 10 to 20 pounds fairly quickly and hit that metabolic reset starting the new year. It does support normal detoxification for proper toxin elimination, but it doesn't upregulate detox pathways like the 28-day detox program. The 28-day detox program is geared for those that eat pretty healthy the majority of the time and aren't as concerned with weight loss. Most people will lose 5 to 10 pounds on the detox program. It is for those that have a lot of chemical exposure and really want to get that out of your body. Let's look at these programs a little more closely. There are 4 main products with the 21-day purification. First is a protein source that is either whey-based or plant-based, being the standard process complete. Next, liver and kidney function is optimized with standard process green food, which is loaded with cruciferous vegetables. The standard process cleanse focuses on optimal liver function with over 30 botanicals to support the liver. Finally, whole food fiber is used to nourish beneficial bacteria and to aid in toxin elimination when toxins are excreted through bile into the small intestine. Without proper fiber, these toxins will be reabsorbed into the bloodstream. Here's the 21-day program schedule broken down. So in the first 7 days here on the left, these are the supplements that you'll be taking. So in the first 7 days, you'll be taking the standard process cleanse, you'll be taking the protein shake and a fiber source, either the gastro fiber or the whole food fiber. Then on days 8 through 21, all we're doing is switching out the standard process cleanse for the standard process green food there on the first row, and then pretty much everything else stays the same. The nutritional plan, you can see here on the right, the meal plan. You'll be eating a lot of fresh vegetables and fruits. We're really aiming for a 2-to-1 ratio of vegetables to fruit while on this program. We can eat legumes and quinoa, and then we have an oil or a fat target that we want to hit. And then we can add in some other protein if we need to. Then on days 11 through 21, your fruit and vegetable intake will be the same, but now you're going to be adding in lean meat and fish. So we want healthy sources of fat and protein on days 11 to 21. Now let's shift gears to the detox program. The shakes are either chai flavored or unflavored. I personally drink 1 to 2 shakes a day as a snack or meal replacement if I'm on the go. It has 17 grams of plant-based protein per shake. We're exposed to toxins on a daily basis, and I want to optimize the liver and GI function to facilitate the removal of these toxins. With the 28-day detox program, we have a nutrition guide. There are sample recipes for you to make at home and a shaker bottle. Here's a breakdown of the various whole foods in the shake targeted for detoxification. We have yellow pea protein, flax meal, buckwheat, carrot, sweet potato, oats, Spanish black radish, pumpkin seed protein, and apple pectin. The 28-day program is very simple to follow. Here we have the program laid out with a number of shakes. We work up to 3 shakes a day and come back down during week 4. This is what a typical day looks like while on the 28-day detox program. 50 to 60% of your plate will be veggies and fruits. Remember, we want a 2-to-1 ratio of veggies to fruits, just like with the 21-day purification program. All Franken foods will be cut out from the diet. You'll be focusing on real whole foods with a limited amount of healthy grains. Also, we will need to cut out alcohol and caffeine to allow the liver to work optimally. 60 to 80 ounces of water is our target consumption. Remember, we need this fluid to produce lymph fluid in the body to mobilize toxins from cells to the bloodstream. And also remember, we need physical movement to literally move the lymph fluid out of the extracellular space, the space in between your cells, and into the bloodstream. There is no other way to get the lymph fluid moving. Now let's take a look at some case studies to show the effectiveness of these programs. So in this first case, I had a veteran come in. She was exposed to burn pits and was concerned about toxin exposure while on deployments. So we did a heavy metal test with just nutritional elements as well. And what we discovered was that she did have an arsenic toxicity down here in the bottom. So right here we have arsenic that was very elevated. So with this graph, we want our healthy metals, so like calcium, copper, lithium, magnesium, and so on. We would like to be really above the kind of the 70th quintile or higher. But then on the toxic metals, we want to really kind of be 50, 60 or less. So as you can see, all her healthy elements were very, very low. So she was nutrient deficient. But then she also had this real high level of arsenic. I mean, she's pretty borderline mercury and silver as well. But the arsenic was the big one that we were concerned about. So we simply just did the 28-day detox and we redid her lab. As you can see, every single element, healthy element like copper and calcium, magnesium, zinc, they all improved. So after 28 days, we had a nice increase in healthy minerals. But then as you can see down here, the big one is that the arsenic level dramatically decreased. So she was way up in the 80th quintile, and now she's dropped down to the 40s. So that was great. She also reported that her fatigue was much better and her sugar cravings had gone away. And she also lost 8 pounds on the program. Here's another one. Here's a gentleman. He just had high triglycerides, wanted to have a little bit more energy, so we did a lipid panel on him. As you can see, his triglycerides were 194 and his non-HDL cholesterol was 143. So definitely above range there. So he just did the 21-day purification and we redid his lipid panel. And as you can see, his triglycerides dropped 77 points. Now that's astounding. That's great. And his non-HDL cholesterol had a 15-point drop, which was also great. What made him happy is he lost 24 pounds and he had increased energy. Now we'll move into this last one. So this was a gentleman, he was a veteran as well. He was concerned about toxin exposure on deployments, and he also had a lot of dental amalgams. He had a lot of fillings in his teeth that were mercury and metal. So we actually did a hair metal analysis on him instead. He had elevated mercury, which were likely from the dental amalgams, and he was just concerned with the long-term effects of a mercury toxicity. So again, he did a 28-day detox. Energy's better, bowel movements were better, and as you can see, his mercury dropped significantly. So pretty impressive for a very healthy nutritional detox program. Well, actually, I had another patient that her liver enzymes were low, her protein levels were low, and her glucose was high. She did the 28-day detox and all of those normalized. What I remember the most in the comments she got from her primary care physician. On her follow-up lab, she asked what she was doing. Her primary care physician asked the patient what she was doing. She said her skin and hair looked so much better. And you can remember what my skin looked like in the beginning of the webinar. So this program, definitely 28-day detox, is going to make your skin, hair, and nails look much healthier. As we wrap this up, I want to end on this quote. People sacrifice their health in order to make money. Then they sacrifice money to recuperate their health. This is a great stepping stone in regaining control of your health. These are proven programs, and I'll be joining you on the journey starting January 6th.